Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. A very warm welcome to Thursday's edition of the DCU Daily. And today we are reacting to probably the final trailer of James Gunn's Superman. Tickets are now on sale globally around the world. This is the trailer. We're going to react to it. Then I'm going to discuss it with you. So let's go. It's just a TV. It's not a perfect picture. It's not a perfect sound. I'm going to interrupt your enjoyment of this trailer. Quite often I'm going to say something and react to it. Let's go.
Superman. The most powerful being on planet Earth. We finally meet.
I like that.
Now, as planned, I'll destroy you.
I love his voice.
And of course, that reporter you always do interviews with.
I like that.
Who raised you as a child?
I love that.
I'll kill them too.
I love that. I love that.
Wrap it up.
Good luck with that.
I am not sure about the teeth coming out of the mouth. I'm not sure if I like that or not. I love that. Great interaction. Love that. Why? How can she fly it? Who taught her? Love that.
Hey! Quit messing around!
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
Not sure, not sure. Cool.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
I've never been sure about that. Oh, this flying sequence, kind of cool, kind of not. Let's discuss. So that's most probably the final Superman trailer. What did you think of it? In the comments below, please like, please share, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. There's things, as you can see, that I loved about that trailer, and there's things that I didn't like. Superman knocking the teeth out of the guy's mouth. I'm not so sure if you're in the Wide Awake Club, you know, there's a few things in there that if you blinked, you would have missed them. And maybe a certain character called Lobo, played by Jason Momoa, Superman smacks someone in the face with a pole or something. Could that be Jason Momoa's Lobo? Not long until we find out. Look, it's a very, very exciting trailer. Some of the dialogue I love. Some of it's a bit ropey. Some of the VFX CG I love. Some of it isn't. It's not like they haven't done a good job putting it on screen, but it's maybe not for me. And I think this is going to be the entire issue of this movie. I think some of the things we're going to love, and some of the things we might not love so much. I mean, that moment when Lois is flying that hover thingy, how does she know what she's doing? Maybe she'll get training during the movie. We know that she spends a bit of time with Mr. Terrific. Is that his ship, isn't it? I think that's his ship. So maybe he teaches her how to use it. A little bit like Jor-El teaches Lois in Man of Steel how to do what to do to get off of Zod's ship, basically. So it may be a similar situation, but that was a cool sequence as well. I mean, Superman being Superman, there's a lot of cool sequences. Now, when Superman is flying and it's saying buy tickets now, right, the screen starts, vibrating, if you like, and it's an interesting way to have Superman flying. Again, I'm not sure if I like it. I think when it comes to Superman flying, I like to stick to the basics. I still haven't seen Superman fly as well as he did in Superman 78, Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve, directed by Sadiq Donner. I think no one has made Superman fly, both in visual effects terms and the body language that Christopher Reeve was able to show and perform on screen. So I'll have to see the whole movie to judge the flying sequences. So I do kind of like the trailer. As I say, there's a lot of great moments. I do love the accent and the voice that Nicholas Hoult is using for Lex Luthor. It's very authoritarian, it's very psychotic. This is definitely a dark Lex Luthor who cannot abide Superman. So that is the Lex from the comics. A lot of people don't like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, but he despises Superman too, and kind of has an envy of him like Lex Luthor has in the comics. I mean, the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor is nothing like the comics, but he's very entertaining and he's very funny, and he can kind of go to a dark place now and again. But, Gene Hackman was the Lex Luthor of my childhood. I don't hate his Lex. I think it's very entertaining. But looking back at it, it's not the kind of Lex that I would have written myself. Michael Rosenbaum was the perfect Lex Luthor, even as a younger Lex Luthor. He's everything visually and in I suppose in narrative terms that Lex Luthor should be. I thought Spacey was a solid Lex Luthor. And Nicholas Hoult looks like to be a really, really good Lex Luthor. And really, the whole trailer is narrated, voiced over by him. So there's no question Gunn was telling the truth. This seems to be the main villain of Superman. Or is there somebody else? We'll have to wait and see. I think this is the main bad boy, if you like. And I think Nicholas Hoult is doing an excellent job, considering Nicholas Hoult playing a villain isn't something we've seen before, but he certainly can turn his hand to any caricature, and you can see there. He seems to be an outstanding Lex Luthor. What can we garner from David Corenswet as Clark Kent, but especially Superman, from all these previews and trailers? First of all, as an actor, I know myself, because I'm a director and an actor, you can only do what's in the script, and you can only do what your director tells you to do. If he says look up onto the sky and say blue, you look up onto the sky and you say blue. Now, some directors allow you some freedom and to give your opinion on what you can do outside of the script. I am that kind of director. One of the most important things as a director is to listen to your cast and crew. You may have a vision and an idea, but they may come up with a better idea. You need someone to sometimes tell you, Mick, this isn't a good idea, this isn't going to work, and you think, actually, you're fucking right. I like your idea better than mine. It's about not having hubris on the set. It's very, very important that you listen, and you're a great communicator as a director. If you don't have those facets, you can't be a director. And I'm talking about directing amateur dramatics, but it's still directing. I'm still doing plays that people are coming to see. So it's very important you listen, because we're there to entertain people at the end of the day. James Gunn is that kind of director that seems free and seems to listen to his cast and his crew. I don't know if this is true. You never really know what they're like behind closed doors of a set at the end of the day. So yeah, this is a good trailer. I wouldn't call this a bad trailer. I wouldn't call this bad marketing. It's good marketing. There's brilliant sequences of Superman being Superman. We see Lois Lane. We see Lex. We see other little things. We see Mr. Terrific, who's actually probably, out of all the supporting metahumans, he's probably got the largest role. He's also always been an interesting character to me, Mr. Terrific, and it will be interesting to see the facets that Gunn's taken from the comics, Guy Gardner and Superman in that little scene were brilliant. It seemed like Guy was challenging Superman to do better, because that's what this film's about. All these metahumans are signed up to Maxwell Lord apart from this loose cannon that's called Superman. And he's becoming a problem to Maxwell Lord and Lex Luthor and to the government and to the media. They want him to sign up and be part of, a controlled superhero universe. James Gunn has confirmed that, metahumans have been around for hundreds of years. So that's a very interesting situation as well. So we'll see how all this works. So as I say, there's some vibes from what I've seen from this film so far that I really, really like. And there's some things that are quite worrying, but we'll see. As I say, the teeth coming out of the mouth, he's trying to make it all animate. In a way, he's trying to make that childish tone, that comic book tone. So there's nothing particularly wrong with the teeth flying out of the mouth. I don't know. It just didn't sit perfectly with me. But once I see the film, maybe I'll like it. This film has been talked about. Snyder fans have tried to destroy its reputation before people have gone to see it. Is that going to work? Well, the ticket sales, if you believe Fandango, are going well. But you can take that kind of talk as absolutely nothing. It's not because I don't want the ticket sales to be fantastic. I do. If this film is really good, it deserves to sell tickets, and I'm happy. Superman wins, DC wins, and I win, right? Because I win if a great Superman film or a great film or TV show in general is great, and audiences and critics give it the acclaim that it deserves. And I want this film to deserve its acclaim. I don't want people to lie about this film. I don't know how influencers sit there and lie about films. I could never do it. I couldn't sit there. I can look myself in the mirror. I look at the mirror quite often. I like the way I look. Doesn't matter if you don't, I do. But I couldn't really sleep at night if I lied about the quality or lack thereof of a film. So you will be getting a genuine, honest review of this movie, because in terms of the future of Hollywood, this film is damn important. Because I would be happy if this film was surprisingly to make $2 billion, that it revigorated the cinematic experience. That would be great for WB, that would be great for Superman and DC, and it would be great for everyone who loves the experience of going to the movie theatre, because right now we are on our knees, because the things that people do today is scroll up on the internet. We don't want that to be the future. If people want to do that, they can do that. I don't give a shit. I do that. But the point being that cinema is something very special about our culture. And I don't think any of us want to lose it. What we want to lose are these bad, politically correct movies, these creatively bankrupt movies. We want to go back to the days where writers and directors were allowed to take a punt on a movie from a gut feeling and tell their story and be allowed to tell their story. Because look what they've done to James Gunn's Superman movie, the movie we're talking about right now, cutting 20 to 30 minutes off the movie, cutting away the episodic narrative. It's all wrong. I know I'm repeating myself, I'm going on about it, because it's unbelievable to me. Because I think that would have been really, really interesting. But maybe Mr. Saslav's right. Maybe that aesthetic, that narrative, wouldn't have worked for the movie. And that's clear why they've cut 20 or 30 minutes of this movie. It's a 2-hour, 9-minute movie, including credits, one post-credit scene. According to Gunn, rumour is that's Brainiac. I hope that's true. I'll be very excited to see what a James Gunn Brainiac looks like. I can only be excited for DCU content coming up that I can watch, the stuff in the cinema, because I can't see Lanterns, and I'm not going to be able to see Peacemaker 2 this time, because last time I had Sky TV, this time I don't. So I can't watch that, I can't watch Lanterns, so all I can be excited about are these cinematic movies. So I'm excited to see Superman in under a month's time. Can you believe it? In under a month, we're finally going to see this Superman movie.